Just let me catch my breath. I feel like I've been rode hard and put away wet. How are you?
I'm okay.
What is it? What?
It's just, I moved my ankle the wrong way.
We better get you to a hospital.
Clint.
What?
I don't think I can drive. It's my right foot.
Well, then I'll just have to load you up and pack you out of here. We'll get to the road. Try and flag down a car. You game?
You're the boss.
Since when did that ever stop you from disagreeing with him?
You never saved my life before. I don't know how to thank you.
Try saying thank you, Clint.
Thank you, Clint.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it? Come on. All right, I can't use my cane. Walk, you're gonna have to be my eyes. Where am I?
There's some steps ahead of you. A slight incline. Okay, straight ahead. That's right. One more. That's right.
Melinda, this is Dr. Pratt. Hello.
Doctor?
Dr. Kellogg has filled me in on your case. We can go to my office and talk, and if you'd like to stay overnight, we have accommodations available.
I appreciate your kindness, Dr. Pratt, but I've decided not to stay here and undergo therapy.
But we've discussed your situation.
I know what we discussed, Dr. Kellogg, but I've changed my mind.
I don't think this decision is rational. Why don't you have a talk with Dr. Pratt, and if you still feel the need to leave us, we won't stop you.
I'm leaving now. I want to be alone. I want to think about what I saw in your office and what it means. You'll excuse me?
No! I don't believe this! How could Elizabeth let this happen? How could Kate let this happen? Believe it. And there is no justice in this world, you know that? None. First court gets Kate, and then his family gets the company and my burn compound. I knew I should have just let him take that photo. He should have just taken it and put an end to the Buchanan family.
Pardon me, Patrick, but your ranting is interfering with my meditation.
Who cares? I should have known even in this place there's no relief from the weariness of the outside world, is there? All that I wanted was to be devoted to my work and to be devoted to the woman that I love. That's all. But no. She chose another man. And her grandmother chose him, too. Oh, boy. I could have saved them. I could have saved that entire family fortune. I could have saved all of the Sanders. So what am I supposed to do now? Huh? Just forget about him? Just forget about him? Have they forgotten about me? Is that it? It is, of course. Unless maybe Elizabeth is totally desperate. Yeah, just maybe. Hey, guard! 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 I want to make a phone call! Now!
So I lost control of the car. The police figure it was because I was high on cocaine.
Well, how'd the coke get in your purse?
I don't know. Well, Wade's convinced that Brent had it and he put it in my purse after the accident. I kept saying to myself that Brent wouldn't do a thing like that to me.
But a guy that would shove his foot to the gas pedal would.
So I'm being charged with possession as well as with reckless driving. You know, it's funny. First, I'm basking in the glory as carnival queen, and then I'm a criminal and in danger of being scarred for life. God, how can everything go from good to bad in the space of an hour?
Dr. Curtis.
Thank you very much, Nancy. You run that down there for me.
Oh, Larry.
Lee!
Hi. Listen, have you gotten in touch with any of those reconstructive surgeons?
As a matter of fact, I was making some calls just a little while ago,
Yeah.
and this is so bizarre. It's like fate had a hand in this.
What?
Have you ever heard of Dr. Eric Hoffman?
Well, I think I've heard of him. I don't know why.
Well, he is one of the top plastic surgeons in the business.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sitting in my room. There's a knock on the door. He sticks his head in. He's in town. He heard about Mary Lynn, and he's interested in the case.
What?
Yeah.
You mean he's interested in performing her operation?
Well, he's considering it, I'll tell you that.
Oh, God, that's great.
You want to discuss it with him? There's Dr. Hoffman right now. Dr. Hoffman, I want you to meet Mrs. Sanders. This is Mary Lynn's mother.
Hello.
How do you do, Mrs. Sanders?
Nice to meet you. I hear that you're interested in doing my daughter's operation.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to study the damage done to your daughter's face yet, but, yes, I am interested.
Here's what to do when you don't.
What brought you to Llanview?
Oh, it's not very complicated. Really, about a year ago, I was asked to deliver a paper at the University of Llanview Medical School. Here I am, right on schedule. I read about your daughter's accident in the morning newspaper and became intrigued with the case. Contacted the hospital, was put in touch with Dr. Wallach.
Matter of fact, Dr. Robinson sent the surgical reports down to radiology.
Excellent, excellent. I'll look at them and also study those x-rays. Ooh, I have to talk to my secretary to make sure that we can reorganize my schedule. So, I'll get back to you. Dr. Wallach, Mrs. Sanders.
Thank you, Dr. Hoffman. I'm speechless. Thank you. Larry, I'm stunned. It's as if my prayers have been answered.
Well, no, he's not a miracle worker, but he will do everything he can. And unfortunately, it may take a great many operations.
Yeah, I know that. But for some reason, I don't know. I feel this surge of hope. And to think he came out of nowhere.
Continue using the ice. I wish you would take my advice and use crutches for a couple of days.
I promise I will stay off the ankle as much as possible. Thank you again, Dr. Arnold.
You're welcome.
I'd loan you my cane, but it's not the right kind.
Your arm is just fine, thank you.
Let's go sit over there for a minute so you can answer some more questions.
Okay. Right this way. We're near the chairs here, Clint. Here you go.
You sit down.
Okay.
You were saying that while you hid on the ledge below in the cave that Vargas and his pal Jerry returned?
I guess they were trying to find out if their little trap had worked, and when they found that the tripwire had been broken, they figured I'd gone over the edge and was killed.
You know, I still don't understand, though, how they knew that Rudy was going to tell Clint about the fact that they're drug dealers.
Malcolm pays top dollar for that kind of information. Mr. Buchanan, do you often meet with informants in caves?
No, Miss Giordano, I do not.
Good. We don't recommend that to anyone, especially someone... Well, obviously you handled yourself very well despite your blindness.
Detective, he was an absolute hero.
It sounds that way. However, you can anticipate the speech. Taking the law into your own hands, endangering yourself,
Yes, I know.
All right. Now, presuming the other officers in the cave find a weapon and find Rudy's body as you described, and presuming we then arrest Vargas and his pal, will you both be willing to testify in court about what you heard and saw?
Of course.
Certainly.
Oh, great. This is enough to issue an arrest warrant. But we will be getting back to you.
You think you have enough evidence?
We have other evidence on this guy. This should nail him. Why don't I drive you home, and then I'll file my report.
Thank you anyway, Miss Giordano. I think I'd rather take a cab.
All right, fine. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, what was that all about?
Well, I think we should probably stop at the Holden Towers and discuss just how we're going to tell Vicky this little story.
All right, I'm gonna take
tape recorder and a microphone in Stacy's room.
Great. Wire me up and we're off.
No, hold it a minute, okay? You convinced me to do this, but the searching my sister's room got me very nervous for you and for me if she finds out.
Billy, if the cops had anything on Vargas, he'd be locked up by now, wouldn't he? Besides, maybe I can help him out this way.
Yeah, well, my sister isn't going to look at it this way. The guy is a drug dealer. He's dangerous.
Billy, I'm gonna be cool, okay? I do have a plan, you know. I'm just gonna spend a little time with him and get him to incriminate himself. And hopefully he'll say something about Brent.
Oh.
And he'll be a user.
Great.
Oh, wait, listen, and then the police will start to interrogate him. He'll admit to putting the coke in Mary Lynn's purse.
Well, you know, that all sounds really great, but it might not go down like that.
Don't forget that without your mouth, Mary Lynn might not have been in this car wreck in the first place.
No, you're playing on my guilt again and the fact that I still have feelings for you. Wade, what if you get hurt?
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Look, would you please just go get some adhesive tape and tape this to me? Then it'll be time to go to the park and have a little conversation with Mr. Vargas.
You know, I really can't believe we're doing all this for your girlfriend. I mean, I really feel bad about her face, but...
Billy, you know she's got a bad rap here.
Well, so what? I've gotten one, you've gotten one. Hell, most of our lives been bum raps, Wade.
You know, that's
your
problem, don't you? I mean, you spend all your time complaining about the bad breaks you've gotten. Why don't you spend some of that time putting together some good breaks for yourself?
Oh, boy, you sound like Stacy.
That's because we both know what we're talking about. Billy, I know it's really terrible what happened in your family. Your mother dying and your father running off. You could spend the rest of your life nursing those wounds, but why don't you put it all behind and spend some time making yourself happier and more productive?
Would that change your mind about me, Wade?
It'd make me respect you a lot more, yeah.
Would it bring back old feelings?
I doubt it.
Thanks.
Billy, why do you keep wanting me to lie to you? Or use you? That's what it would be, me taking advantage of you just for sex. This is what we were talking about before, your whole idea of life. You don't have any respect for yourself.
All right, just shut up about it, all right? We're supposed to be worried about you getting your head blown off by a drug dealer or my sister kicking me out of here because I'm helping you. You know something? This is not going to convict Malcolm Vargas. I've heard my sister talk 1,000,000 times about tape conversations and what they do in court.
Yes, but it's going to help get the charges against Mary Lynn dropped. And that's the objective here.
I'm done. Why don't you put your shirt back on? What if they discover it? Oh, great. No alternate plan in case the guy isn't as stupid as you think he is?
Billy.
Since I'm already on your nerves, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you put your life on the line like this for me?
If you were a victim of circumstance like this, yeah, sure I would. Hey, just look, tell me, can you see anything?
No, you can't. Put your jacket on, you should be cool.
Okay, as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna come back here. We want to take all this stuff and put it exactly where we found it, so Stacy doesn't know anything.
Wait, look, why don't I come with you, okay? Let me, I'll hide out. I'll pretend that I'm just look at things. I could call the cops if something goes wrong.
Billy, I don't want to be worrying about you while I'm doing this.
Oh, I have a really bad feeling about this, Wade. Please, I hate this. Let me go.
Billy, why don't you just wish me luck? Thanks. Bye-bye.
I don't know. Until they find a surgeon to look at the side of my face that's scarred, there's no real prognosis. All we know is that it's pretty bad.
Has Wade come to visit you?
Oh, yeah. Came as soon as he heard.
Good, because it's obvious he's in love with you.
And I'm in love with him, and we told each other that. Oh, our argument was so stupid. I would never even have been with Brent if I wasn't so mad with Wade. But you see, I thought that he was fooling around with Billy. And he told me he wasn't. But I don't know. I think I have a lot of leftover feelings about trusting Mitch and then trusting Rick and being let down.
Well, they both took advantage of the faith that you put in them. It's pretty natural that you wouldn't be feeling very trustworthy toward guys right now. But I like Wade a lot, and I think you should give him a chance.
I'm, trying not to be a baby about my face. I mean, I could have died, right? And I'm sure the surgeon will work on me so that I'll look okay.
Of course you will. Look, Mary Lynn, they are making advances in this every day. Your mom was in one of these accidents, and look at her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is gorgeous, but she doesn't look the same, Cassie. That's why Dad didn't recognize her when she came to town. I mean, and that was okay for her because she hated her life and she wanted to change it, but me, I mean, I like my...
You like your face. You want to be able to look in the mirror and see yourself and recognize yourself, and that's normal to feel that way.
That's not all of it, though. I'm afraid that Wade won't love me anymore if I change too much. Or if I come out of the operation with terrible scars.
Will you stop being so hard on yourself? Mary Lynn, you are not going to look terrible, and anyone that is in your position would be having all the same fears that you're having right now. Okay? So stop treating yourself like this and stop beating yourself up. You have enough to worry about.
Yeah, like going to jail.
You are not going to go to jail. Look, even if you were guilty, this is your first offense. The most the judge would give you is a year's probation. That's it. I'm telling you.
Come in.
Oh, Cassie, you're still here.
Yeah, hi.
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 How you doing?
Pretty good. Cassie's trying to make me feel better.
Yeah, am I succeeding, though?
Yes, you are. Where's Dad?
He's trying to arrange for a lawyer.
I was just about to ask about that.
Oh, yes, I was too, Cassie. Listen, I know that your father is district attorney, and so...
Mom, don't ask Cassie to use her influence.
Mary Lynn, I will do anything to keep you out of jail.
And I will be more than happy to ask my dad about this. I will, and I don't know if he can help or not, but he can definitely talk to the judge that's on your case.
Oh, thanks, Cassie. Thanks a lot. Hey, I have some terrific news. Now, there is this top surgeon. He happens to be in Landview. He happened to read about your accident in the paper. And he wants to perform your plastic surgery operation.
That's great! Mary Lynn,
Isn't that great?
See? Oh, on this happy note, I'm going to leave. But listen, if you want to call me, right?
Thanks for coming by, Cassie.
Okay, Del.
Here.
Thanks. I'll see you, and I'll talk to my dad about this.
Oh, thanks, Cassie. You're terrific.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Mom, I'd like to see some photos of the cases that doctors worked on. You know, before and after pictures.
Well, Mary Lynn, I don't know. You know, that might be a little insulting.
Why?
Well, because he's been so generous.
Mom, it's my face. I want to know more about him and about his cases. And if he thinks that's a big deal, then I don't know if I can trust him.
Elizabeth, I strongly recommend that you take Asa Buchanan up on his offer to remain on the board of directors.
Never. I won't work for a cowboy, an outlaw.
Look, I really have to be going. I've got an appointment with Tom Dennison about his daughter, your new granddaughter.
Lee Halpern voted with Asa Buchanan. Are you aware of that?
Does that mean I'm not supposed to help save his kid's life? According to Tom, she's being set up here.
No, of course you should help her. It's her mother who should be punished and put away.
Pardon me, Mrs. Sanders. You have a phone call?
Look, I've got to be going, but I'd like to meet for dinner, okay?
Yes, I'd like that. Do you happen to know who's calling?
Yes, ma'am. It's Dr. London.
I don't care what they're calling this new strain of flu. I still feel the same old way. Awful. Got 102 temperature, and my body aches. But I don't take aspirin or Tylenol anymore. Today...
Hello?
Well, hello, Elizabeth. So nice to find you're up and about. I thought you might still be in the bed since you really have no reason to leave it.
Why are you calling me?
Oh, because I'm just sick about the takeover of Sanders Chemical. And I'm also very angry that Asa Buchanan is going to make money off of my burn compound.
Thank you for the condolence call, Patrick.
Just don't hang up on me, Liz. I think I've got a way to get your company back for you. Why don't you come to the prison and we'll talk about it. I think I've got a way that you can beat Asa Buchanan at his own game.
You're not a lawyer. How can you help? And why would you even want to? This is just a scheme, hoping we'll drop the charges, isn't it?
Well, you're never going to know that unless you come, are you?
Patrick, I'm fairly desperate myself, but you're even more so. Not to mention being mentally ill. So I'm going to pass on this generous invitation.
I think you should reconsider, Liz. You've forgotten how well we know each other, and you'll just go through the rest of your life wondering if maybe that madman scheme could have worked. Goodbye now.
Okay, your chair's right up here to the left.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clint, I definitely think we should leave out the part about my fall and your climbing down the rope to free my foot.
Oh, you mean tell Vicky that you hurt your foot just inside the cave?
Exactly.
Hmm.
You know, she still has every right to throw me out of the house for even driving you to that meeting.
Sarah, Vicky is also a journalist. She understands how sometimes you have to meet people that only want to talk off the record. She's not about to demand that I give that up just because I no longer can see.
Yeah, well, somehow I think that she would draw the line at a situation that was that dangerous.
Well, that's why we're lessening the dangerous part of it. We don't have to go into all the details. All right, let's hear it. Just because I can't see doesn't mean that I can't pick up on some vibes.
All right. I think maybe you're sensing the small nervous collapse I'm about to have now that this whole thing is over.
Yeah.
You know, you were really terrific. You didn't panic. You just did what had to be done, and you got us out of there, alive. Most people wouldn't be able to do that kind of thing with all their senses working. Aren't you feeling some aftershocks?
Some. I mean, it's the kind of situation where if you stop and think about it, you can break out into a cold sweat. But while it's going on, you just do what you have to do. And we got lucky.
Well, I am very impressed and very grateful.
Grateful? You should be stomping your little foot that I got you to that kind of a dangerous situation. I mean, I was so hungry to accomplish something that I wasn't even using my head when I asked you to drive me out to meet Rudy.
Well, I think the upshot of this whole thing is that you proved something to yourself. I mean, Clint, you were up against incredible odds, and here we are talking about it.
No, I didn't give Mary Lynn your love. Why don't you come down here and give it to her yourself? Okay. All right, John. I'll see you in a bit.
Dr. Eric Hoffman, call the office.
Auntie, what are you doing? Wait a minute. You look awful. What's wrong? Are you okay?
Well, yeah, I came to see you because you said you were going to visit Mary Lynn.
Yeah, so what's going on?
I went to Mountain View Sanitarium to visit Dr. Kellogg.
Yeah?
And I pretended that he was right, that I really was having hallucinations about the murder, and told him that I wanted to have therapy.
Just as a scam.
Yeah, right. I really wanted to see Mr. Peck and get him to admit that he lied. And then I also wanted to go into Dr. Kellogg's office and rifle through his desk.
Melinda!
Well, I have to prove that I saw what I saw, because the general consensus is that I didn't, right?
Okay, so what happened?
Well, I was just about to get Mr. Peck to admit that he lied, and then Dr. Kellogg appeared and he clammed up. So then I walked into Dr. Kellogg's office, and there, lying right on the floor, was the body.
The body. The body. This is the same body we were talking about yesterday?
Along with the coffee cup. Now, wait a minute before you judge me. I think Dr. Kellogg put the body there because he knew I would see it, because he saw me talking to Peck, and he knew what I was trying to do.
Look, I have to tell you, this is a little more difficult to believe than the original story
I know,
you first
Cassie,
told me.
don't you think I know that? Don't you think I'm doubting my own sanity? But that's what he wants. Because an insane woman won't be able to send him up for murder. So anyway, I think I need to talk to your father.
Melinda, come on, are you sure?
I think if I don't go to the authorities, they're going to think that I'm doubting my own story. And even though I do have some doubts, I know I saw a murder. And I know there must be a body somewhere.
So I want to talk to the DA. All right. Come on, let's go find her.
Dr. Eric Hoffman, call the operator. Dr. Eric Hoffman.
Yes, I'm Dr. Hoffman. May I use the phone?
Yes, Doctor.
Thank you. Yes, hello. This is Dr. Eric Hoffman.
Eric, it's Donald.
Hello, Donald.
How was our young lady?
Oh, very lucky you asked me to drop in and look at her case, I would say. The damage is extensive, you know. It's going to be a very complicated operation, not to mention an expensive one.
I already told you not to worry about the expense. I want Lee's daughter looking exactly as she did before this unfortunate accident.
Well, I'll do my best, which, as you know, is considerable.
And how is Lee holding up?
Well, I didn't have much of a chance to talk to her. She seems to be a strong woman. She obviously loves her daughter very much.
Yes, she always was strong. Eric, please keep me informed.
Oh, I certainly will. And someday you must tell me why you're so intensely interested in these people.
Which is classified under the heading of preventive medicine.
Ever seen so much chocolate in a cookie? They're made with Treasures, Nestle's big new deluxe baking pieces. They're so rich, so luscious. Oh, did you hit your nose? Nestle Toll House Treasures, for people who like a little cookie with their chocolate.
The same man on the floor? You mean he dragged the body out from wherever it was hidden
Yes.
and put it back so...
Because the body was gone when we went back 5 minutes after we had seen it in the first place.
Melinda, Kellogg would be taking such a risk. I mean, what if his nurse had spotted
Herb,
it
I'm
anyway?
not saying any of this makes any sense. I'm just telling you what I saw. And obviously, you don't believe me.
No, I haven't made any judgment. I'm trying to think it through.
Look, I know I should have come to you right away, but I'm coming to you now, and please, I'd like a police investigation made.
Yes, of course. But since there's no evidence except your word, I'll have to do it off the record very quietly. Ed Hall, he's had the experience. He'd be perfect.
Dad, any news about Delilah?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, thank you. Anyway, I know that this story is a lot for you to swallow. But I swear to you, Herb, this is not the old Melinda. This is the new Melinda. The one that wakes up every morning, takes her magic pill, is not paranoid, and does not have hallucinations.
Melinda, honey, I said that I would ask Ed to investigate. I wouldn't do that if I didn't hear some validity in this.
Thank you. Thank you for the investigation, and thank you for your faith. Well, I'm gonna go now. Are you going to John's?
Yeah, unless, if you want, I can come back to the place.
No, I'll be fine. I'll just watch television or something.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Man. Dad, do you think it's possible she could be telling the truth?
Marilyn, I meant to ask you, did you ever notice Brent or any of his friends ever taking drugs?
No, I wasn't looking for that. Mom, I don't even think about that. Probably when I thought they were just in high spirits, they were high on cocaine. You know, I ask myself every day, will I always be so naive? Why don't I question people rather than just accept them for what they appear to be?
Mary Lynn, let's face it, I made the same mistake as you did. I fell right into the trap. I mean, I looked at Brent and I said, he's this guy with this upper-class education. He's so articulate. He's wonderful. Grab him. I want him for you. I made so many mistakes. But, you know, I did everything for you.
I know. Don't feel guilty. I loved that car. I loved being Carnival Queen for about 15 seconds.
Oh, God, 15 seconds. Oh. It was all because of my past. Boy, I hope my past never interferes in our lives again.
Come in. Wade, hi.
Hi.
Wade. Oh, those are beautiful. Well, grab that chair and sit down.
No, that's okay. I can just stay a minute, so...
Oh, wait, no. Sit down. I'll look for vase.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Guess what?
What?
I think I found a way to prove that Brent put that Coke in your purse.
Really? How?
No, I don't really want to talk about it with you right now.
Wade, that makes me nervous. You're not going to beat the truth out of him, are you?
No, it's a little subtler than that, but hopefully more efficient. I'll tell you when it's all over, which should be pretty soon. So tell me, anything new?
Well, some hotshot plastic surgeon happens to be in Landview and is thinking about taking my case.
Are you serious? That's great. Hey, listen, you ought to ask him if maybe this time he could make you pretty. I mean, you were such a dog before this all happened.
I thought I lost my sense of humor, but I think that was pretty close.
I love you. Your whole face, half your face, or no face at all.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. Sure. Oh, Dr. Hoffman.
Oh, Mrs. Sanders, I was just looking for Dr. Wallach. Good news. My secretary tells me there's room in my schedule to permit me to operate on your daughter.
Well, that's just great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm a little embarrassed to ask you this, but I wondered if you might happen to have some photographs of your work. My daughter just needs a little reassuring. Oh, believe me, I don't need any reassuring at all. It's just her. She's a little terrified about this whole thing.
Of course. Well, why don't you let me reassure her personally? I'll just take a look at her x-rays, and then I'll be able to answer all her questions. Right now, we have to make sure that there's an operating room available to us tomorrow.
Oh, well, I'm sure Larry will find you one.
I'm sure he will.
Thank you.
Lee. I'm sure you know why I'm here.
Shelley Pemberton suffers from frequent sinus headaches.
It's a pressure all through my sinuses. It's a dull, constant pain. Just a nag.
It's not the time or the place for this, Elizabeth.
To inquire about your daughter.
Oh. Well, she's feeling a little scared, but we have a wonderful plastic surgeon, so we're hoping for the best.
I'm truly very sorry, not only about her injuries, but about the charges that have been brought against her.
No, well, believe me, she didn't cause that accident, and she doesn't take drugs.
I believe you.
You do? Well, thank you.
Now that we're talking, may I ask you a question? Will you side with me if I am able to make some maneuvers toward reclaiming my company?
It's gone way beyond that point, Elizabeth. You should know that.
You really have no idea what you did to me by throwing in your stock with Asa Buchanan.
Oh, well, you know, I gave this a lot of thought. I really did, and for some reason, I just couldn't work up enough allegiance to the old Sanders family, partly because you've insulted me, and partly because you told me I'd never fit in.
It also passes very nicely for revenge, doesn't it?
Oh, I used my business sense, Elizabeth. Let's face it, Sanders Chemical has been ripe for a takeover for a long time. Any major corporation could have done it. And now I'm sure with this new infusion of capital and leadership, Sanders Chemicals will turn a nice profit.
So what if your dear departed husband is turning in his grave?
Oh, boy. Charles was very pragmatic.
Obviously, you have no idea what you've done. I truly hope your daughter's operation is successful.
My darling, the first part of the story may be true, but the second part brought the body back into this office so she could get another glimpse of it.
Okay, so it's unbelievable. But, Dad, more bizarre things have happened. Is it that totally inconceivable?
Just hoping Melinda hasn't gone around the bend, aren't you? I wish I could support that.
Well, she was perfectly fine up until this happened.
Well, that's usually how it happens, isn't it? People slip back into their paranoia bit by bit.
Come on, Dad. Just a benefit of the doubt. A teensy bit, please. Like going to Ed Hall, asking him to check out this...
I'd do that all right, darling, but the question is, what do we do if he confirms the fact that no probable murder ever occurred at Mountain View?
I don't know. I don't know. But in the meantime, could you please help me with another problem?
What?
Maybe it's nothing you can even do anything about, but it's Mary Lynn.
Oh.
Come on, being accused of possession of drugs, cocaine?
I know, but the police did find the coke in her purse, and Van Buren
denies any knowledge of it, she'll have to stand trial. Unless she's allowed to join the ARD program, I've agreed to that.
Well, what is that?
You know, Sarah, it's fading already.
What is?
My feeling of being capable, in control,
Why?
because it's not a day-to-day capability. I still can't run the banner. I can't see the layouts, look at the photographs, read the stories, none of it.
Hotshot, are you going to make me go back to my one day at a time speech again? Listen, what you did in the cave, it should prove to you that you can accomplish almost anything. It takes some determination and some concentration and...
Time. But how much time, Sarah? I don't have much time left.
What is that supposed to mean?
Just that one never knows. I mean, just like we didn't know what we were running into when we went out to meet Rudy. It's getting kind of late, isn't it? I think we'd better be getting home, or Vicky's going to be throwing more questions at us than we can answer.
Yeah, I'll get the check. Waiter. Look, would you just give yourself a few moments of joy before you start beating yourself up about what you can't do?
You know, that's a good idea. I think I'll give it a try.
Good.
I hope we can catch the news. I'd like to hear whether Vargas has been arrested yet and if there's anything new with Delilah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You getting together a softball game or something?
No, I'm waiting for my nephew.
Listen, a guy named Brent said to come to the park and look for a guy with a softball.
Any particular reason?
Come on, man, you know.
First of all, I don't know. I don't know some dude named Brent. So how can I know what you're talking about?
Come on, man, I'm cool. I got some money. Everything's fine.
Scram, kid.
Please don't do it. Sorry. Just don't do this to me. I'm kind of desperate, and Brent said you could help me out.
Were you hard of hearing or something? I told you to get lost. Now beat it. What are you, a rookie? They should never let you out of the police academy.
Hey, got a problem?
You got us a yo-yo here.
Cop? Yo-yo? No, man, I'm not a cop.
Well, maybe you're a reporter, huh?
What, are you wearing this wire for your own entertainment, then? No. See, that Brent guy I was talking about is a fraternity brother. We're just gonna play a little joke on him, you know? Play the tape back to him and scare him. We just want to talk about buying Coke from you.
Coke? Why would I talk about some dude named Brent who talks about Coke, huh?
Hey, he's not a cop, Malcolm. He doesn't have a cover story worth a blade of grass. So, kid, you want to tell us the real story? Hey, now that the tape isn't running, we're dying to hear what you want. Hey, emergency rooms are not terrific places to be in, so, speak up.
So Dr. Hoffman said that he would reassure you when he talked to you. So I think that means he's going to give you his credentials.
Mom, I'm sure he is a wonderful plastic surgeon, but it's scary. I mean, you went through this. How did you get through it? You were alone, weren't you?
Pretty much.
What? Come in.
Hello, Mary Lynn. Hi, Lee.
Jeff.
Hello.
You're feeling better, I hope?
Yes, a little, thank you.
Okay, well, I have some good news for you. There's a program called Accelerated Rehabilitative Disposition. They call it ARD for short. I'd like to get you into
Wait, hold it. Jeff, did Tom put you on this case?
Yes, he did. Is there some kind of problem about that?
Well, actually, I was sort of hoping for...
Mom. I'd like to hear what he has to say. What's ARD?
Basically, ARD is probation. 6 months to a year.
What? Probation for what? I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, we can't prove that, unfortunately. And let me tell you, Judge Westcott, who'll be hearing your case, won't be impressed by your injury at all. He will sentence you for this.
Well, what are you saying, Jeff? That we should just go on with this without a fight?
No, I am saying this is the only way to keep Mary Lynn out of jail.
Oh, it makes me look as if I'm guilty, and I'm not.
I believe you, but we can't disprove the facts. It's only your word against Brent, against the police who found cocaine in your bag.
Oh.
No, just look. No, just listen to me for a second. I talked with Herb about it, and he agreed to set up a hearing for tomorrow. I know you can't be there, but your parents can come, and they'll swear that they'll help you through your problem. All you'll need to be is clean for a year.
No. No, I hate this. I'm not going to do this.
I wish I could tell you it was a sure thing. This judge may not even agree to put you on the ARD program, but if he does, it'll mean no record and no jail.
Well, I'll tell you something, Jeff. You know, I really think that Brent should be put on this ARD program. All this is because of him.
Well, Brent will trip himself up sometime. Right now, our concern should be getting Mary Lynn through this.
Well, can I still plead not guilty?
Well, your parents can stand up and say that they believe your side of the story.
Mom, what do you think?
Marilyn, you know, I think you should just take it easy and you should try to get ready for this operation. That's what I think.
Jeffrey, if there were a trial and you put Brent on the stand, do you think you could get him to confess?
Brent's not important here. What is important is keeping your record clean. The ARD program is the only way to do that.
Jeff, are you absolutely certain about this?
Look, all of the evidence is against you, Mary Lynn. Plus, your stay as Mitch Lawrence's disciple, it just doesn't look good.
All I need is that raked up.
Yeah, really. Well, you know what? I think that we should handle the legal end of this, and you should just rest here. Just forget about this.
You know, I wish Wade were here. I'd like to discuss this with him.
Honey, I think Wade feels the same way as we do. He doesn't want you falling into a sentence.
Yeah. But he might bring us some evidence. We might not even need to be discussing this.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. But he's going to try and do something.
I'll be right outside. Elizabeth! Oh, what do you think of my new digs? Pretty nice, huh? In fact, it's a palace compared to my prison cell in Zaroon.
I'm sure it is. At least you've managed to upgrade your status in life, eh, Patrick?
We always did enjoy each other, didn't we? In fact, I'm really surprised that we ever became enemies. Never should have been like that.
We're a lot alike in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I must admit that I am intrigued with your claim that you may have some means to help me regain Xander's chemical.
And to salvage my life. Yet one more time.
No, I can't help you there. You're dangerous and you need treatment.
We'll talk about all that later, Liz. Right now, I want you to peruse this cable that I received shortly after I was put in prison here.
About what? And from whom?
Here it is. I'll answer all those questions after you've read it. I'm sure you'll have many of them. Then we'll play Let's Make a Deal. So, want to hear more?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Guys, the truth, man. I'm a fraternity brother of Brent Van Buren's. Look, I wanted to buy some coke from you. I did. I just wanted to get it on tape so we could, you know, have fun with it. A little joke, you know?
Yeah?
Us fraternity guys do that. It's jokes.
Brent told you exactly where to go, who to see to score, huh?
Yeah.
Loose talk like that could shut down operation, get us arrested. Maybe we don't need to teach Brent the lesson, other than send you back to the frat house in an ambulance, huh?
Oh, look, man, I'm cool. All shut up about this. Yeah, we can make sure of that. Cool out. In fact, it's hard to talk without teeth, huh?
sorry, Ralph.
If you want anything else, let me know. Max said to give you the full treatment for this engagement dinner.
Thank you, Ralph.
This has been so lovely.
Yeah, we're just like two little kids on a date, huh? I have an idea. What do you say that once we leave here, we get onto Lover's Lane and we neck a little in the car?
Oh, poor Steve. When he fell in love with a woman with a ready-made family.
Yeah, I know. And that woman all evening has been thinking about calling the babysitter and seeing how Al is, right?
I'm sorry. I've tried not to be nervous, but it's the first time we've left him with someone else. I may be a difficult woman, but I'm a very lucky woman. So what do you say we skip the car and go straight home so we can relieve Al from the babysitter?
If you insist. Okay, but we have to pretend that there's a Lover's Lane.
Oh, yes.
Perdóname, Gabriel. Lita Caballero.
Lita, yes. But what are you doing here in Landview?
It's a long story, but I wanted to see you.
Oh, Lita, this is my fiancé. This is Steve Holden. This is Lita. She's a fashion model from Argentina.
Nice to meet you, senor.
Same to you.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do need to talk to you privately, Gabrielle.
Well, it's okay. Listen, I'll go and call Mrs. King and tell her that we'll be home very soon, okay?
Well, please sit down. Can I get you anything?
No, thank you. I have some troubling news, and it affects someone close to you, Gabrielle.
Tina? Tina! Whoa, 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 my.
Good evening.
Oh. And champagne?
Why don't you, have a seat?
Tina, when you called, I explained to you how I've got this convention of 200 chicken farmers that are arriving tomorrow morning. Well, listen, I'm up to my elbows in details, all right? Look, they hate chicken, right? They refuse to eat chicken. They hate it. They're sick of chicken. They're ready to scream if they see chicken. So I got to go back and order beef, and I got to...
Max,
What?
I have a very important proposition to make to you.
Here's what you do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end.
Now, let me help you off with your jacket here. Come on. There we go. Right. Now, why don't you just have a seat? And I will pour us some champagne.
All right. How much is this going to cost me?
Oh, probably a lot.
Tina, I'm getting a little nervous here. I mean, this is going to be Lulu. What do I have to do? Do I have to give up the hotel? Do we have to move to China? I know you're not breaking up with me.